Well, let's start there then, Kevin. I mean, the Rhinos are effectively safe. You know, you'll top the table with a victory, wouldn't you? And it would take a weird set of circumstances for it not to be all right. So, how do you approach this game then?
We have to win. I keep getting told by people like yourself that we're safe, but until it's mathematically secure, we go about it in exactly the same way. We need to win. Even if the result goes our way tonight over at Salford, which I don't think it will actually, but if it does, we still want to win tomorrow for a whole host of different reasons. But we need to, we need to continue what we've been doing. We need to keep improving. We've got some players that are leaving us who we need to send off in the right way. We've got some supporters who've been unbelievable all year, and we want to say thank you as a group to them for sticking with us. And the best way we can do that is by putting in a great performance and winning. So, we welcome Toronto for the first time, and we really look forward to playing against them. We've seen all the razzmatazz that comes with them, and we look forward to playing against them. So I actually feel that last Sunday at Halifax, the second half we played a lot better than what we have done in the last 5 or 6 weeks. I thought we started to show signs of opening up and playing and having some real intensity about us. So I want us to continue that, and I want us to finish in the right manner as well.
Kevin, do you think the last game of the season, hopefully, if you finish in the right manner, do you believe in the momentum carrying on into the next season, obviously for the new man that's coming in? Or is it too?
I think there's too much of a gap. I think what it does, it allows us to draw a line under this year properly. I think it gives us a little bit of belief, but other than that, we start fresh. It's important we do that. We get through tomorrow, and there's some changes coming, as people are probably expecting, and that may take some time. That might take the next 12, 24 months for some of that to bed in and for that to happen. But there has to be some changes, otherwise we end up with what we've got this year, and as we all know, it's not been good enough.
How excited are you about next year and the role that you're going to be playing?
Yeah, really excited. I think getting Dave involved and working in tandem with Dave and helping and supporting and making sure he has the tools to do the job is really important. But just to get the club back to where it needs to be, again, that may take a little bit of time. It's not a complete rebuild, but there's some bits we need to fix up. There's some areas where that need addressing, and that, like I said, that might take a period of time, but I look forward to really getting stuck into that, and a lot of that we've had to press pause on it, because survival's the key, and my focus at this moment in time is first team performances and results. So hopefully we put that to bed tomorrow night and we start to move.
And you're up against a Toronto side who, you said there is a razzmatazz, but there's a lot on it for them, isn't there, tomorrow? I mean, £1 million game and all that sort of stuff. And how do you think they'll approach this then? What sort of game are you expecting?
I'm expecting a tough game. I think they'll come to win. I don't see what other option they have with results and how tight it is between that top 5 or 6. There's so many different permutations. And then I think for them, however it ends up, why would they not want to come here and perform and play well? Whether that means they end up in £1 million or whether they get automatic promotion, I'm sure they want to come here and throw everything at Leeds. We're ready for that. We want to throw everything at Toronto, so it makes for a great game.
Would you consider them a real asset to Super League if it was to happen for them?
Yeah, I think so.
Why? What is it about them that makes it attractive?
I think they bring a lot of interest. As we probably see tomorrow night, yes, it's hopefully our last game of the season, and we always get a good crowd for that, but the fact that this place is going to be sold out tomorrow night tells you that there's something new happening, there's a new side coming that people want to have a look at. But I think also, I spent a bit of time in Toronto myself, going back a while. I've got some family out there, and it's a great city. And I think with the crowds they're getting, they're showing that it's working. So yeah, why not?
Brad Singleton missing for you tomorrow. How big a blow is that for you?
Yeah, it's a big loss. It's the curse of the captaincy at the minute. It just keeps getting rolled around. Someone either gets injured or someone gets banned on the back of having it. So we'll miss him. He's been great since I came back. He's a real leader for this group, and we will miss him. But it gives someone else an opportunity. Delighted to welcome back Brett Ferris back in as well, having been banned the week before, and he'll captain the team, and he's been fantastic as well. So yeah.
So finally, look, hopefully there's just one more game to go, Kevin. With that in mind, how do you reflect on the last sort of 4 months?
3 months.
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah. Does it feel like 4?
I think my job coming in was to make sure we survived. We need to do that tomorrow night, and then once that's happened, I think then we can start reflecting. But probably the job starts then, really. I've really enjoyed being back. This has been home for me for so long, and it feels like I've never been away. So delighted to be back. I love the place, love the people who work here. I love our supporters. I think, for all my time I played here, I know they've gone on a bit of a journey with us. So yeah, it's great to be back, and a long may that continue.
Good luck, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Jack Walker's been ruled out with concussion. It gives Ashton Golden a chance to come into the squad. Nice for Ashton to have a chance. You mentioned how hard he's been working in training to have a run out.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it last week after the Halifax game. I thought Jack Walker was the best player on the field, and he's been very, very good. But Ashton, behind the scenes, has been pushing and probing and prodding. And I think he's played a part in Jack's performances improving. I think to have somebody breathing down your throat has brought the best out in Jack. Ashton's attitude is as good as anybody in the group, and he's determined to play well tomorrow. He's waited for his opportunity, and hopefully he'll go out and perform as well as he can and really add to the group.
Have you noticed any sort of different vibe within the group this week, playing against Toronto, a team they've only really seen on TV? It's not often an opportunity comes along like that. I mean, in your career, the first games against Catalans presumably was something similar. Yeah,
I think the guys realise we've got an opportunity tomorrow night, one to play against a team we've never played against, but also everything's in our hands as things stand. So that's probably been the most exciting bit for the boys. They know that if they go out and do what they can do tomorrow night, then we have full control of the situation, and we're not relying on anybody else's results, or we're not getting a calculator out to check afterwards. To be in this position is what those boys have earned, and I just hope we're good enough to capitalise on that tomorrow.
Hopefully the team can get the result, and it will be the last game of the season. That means it'll be the last game in Rhinos colours for Joel Moon and for Jimmy Kinehorst as well. How would you assess both those players' contribution to the club?
Yeah, I think they both had huge contributions. Joel has been around a long time and been part of a number of different trophy-winning teams. He'll like me saying this, he's a cool guy. I've really enjoyed playing alongside him, but coming back, I've really enjoyed working with him as well. He's tough, he's durable, he puts his body on the line every single week without any questions asked, and he's classy, he's got time. I don't think I've seen many, in fact I don't think I've seen anybody get over the top of him. Defensively, he's very strong. For a guy who's not a massive bloke, but he's just classy, and we'll miss him. I think his combination with Hawley over the years has been outstanding down that left flank, and it'll be a huge loss for us. Jimmy's probably not been around as long as Joel, and had a different contribution, but I think his journey is one to be admired, to make the break from playing university rugby to suddenly appear and playing a Challenge Cup final, I think in his 4th appearance for the club, and he's got a really good attitude. Another one, sad to see lose, but another club will take him, and hopefully he continues to progress and get better. It was really good 2015 to play alongside him. I think we both went through a bit that year, and it was great to finish on the field alongside him in that grand final, and obviously he had a pretty decent contribution towards the back end of it as well. So wish him all the best. You know, they're welcome back here anytime.
You mentioned Joel Moon and his durability there. Jamie Jones Buchanan gave a great example of that this week at the club's awards dinner, where he talked about how Mooney would often see that Jonesy was struggling, having made 3 tackles on the bounce, and would take on his workload for him and let Jonesy have a rest in the centres. Does that sum up sort of the unseen, maybe unappreciated by the spectators element of Joel Moon, but his teammates know the value of him?
Very much so. Very much so. He's one of the old guard, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, because he's not that much of an old bloke really, but he does things because they need doing, and he doesn't do things because he wants patting on the back for it. He just gets it done, and he knows when people are struggling, he knows when people are tired, he knows when he's got a bit of life and a bit of energy that he can go make a difference, and he's done that the whole time he's been here. He's certainly been a player that everybody's really enjoyed playing alongside, and I think that's one of the nicest things I could say about him. You know, if you're in a team and everyone wants you to be in that team and everybody loves playing alongside you, it speaks volumes. And Mooney's prepared to put his body on the line and cover for people, even though it may mean he gets injured at certain times, but he's still willing to do it.
Speaking of the awards, Richie Myler was named the Player of the Year. Having worked with Richie over the last 3 months, how have you found him?
Yeah, he's been good. He brings a real energy about. As a half, you need that. He's cocky. He's in the nicest way. Reminds me a little bit of Rob Burrow. I think you need a bit of an edge, but he's got a nice edge to him. Really good talker on the field, gets her around, and yeah, he's made a huge contribution this year. I think the big stat is the try assists. He's put try after try on for people this year, and he allows whoever plays in the other half-back role to concentrate on more of a running game, and yeah, I think he's been excellent this last 6 weeks.
With that in mind, are you excited to see him partnered up with either Tui Lolaheo or Callum McClellan for next year? The dynamic there could be something special. Yeah,
very much so. I think I'll probably see it as one of your halves controlling and getting us around the field, probably looking after the majority of the kicking game, and the other one a bit of a free spirit, and Lolaheo certainly provides that magic. Callum's probably somewhere in between the two, and he could fulfil either role. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that battle unfolds, and who ends up being our mainstay 6 and 7 for the majority of 2019 will be really interesting.
Friday night hopefully will be the final game for the team. They can put their bare feet up, but presumably for you, once we know next year, the phone calls start and emails start flying around to really firm up the work you've been doing in the background. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, the players will get a well-earned rest. But like I said earlier, it allows me to start pushing some buttons and moving some things forward, and inevitably that may take some time. But you know, I'll do my absolute best so that for the start of the season in 2019, we're in the best shape possible. It may take 12, 24 months to get it to where I'm really happy with how we're operating and how we're running, but I think we try and build something too quickly. I'm not quite sure we have the right foundations in place, and I want to make sure it don't come crashing down. So we've got to build something for the next 10 years here and make sure we do it right.
And just finally, talking about the next 10 years and building for the future, Rob Burrows' under-19 side there through to the grand final on Friday night against Wigan. You won grand finals as an academy player. It's a special occasion for them.
Yeah, it's great. I'm delighted for Rob, delighted for the staff, and obviously delighted for the players. They really deserved it. Rob's done a tremendous job, and there's some real talent in that team. You know, I think it's a long time since we've been in an academy grand final, and the quality we've got in there is as good as we've had for a long time as well. So the plan is for a number of those to come through. You know, we've got to start creating our own players again. We've got to start pushing them through and wrapping around them some world-class players from around the globe, and those boys will get an opportunity if they're good enough. So, you know, whatever the result is tomorrow night, I know that the future's bright with some of those young players, and it'd be great if they could come back with a trophy. They fully deserve it, and wish them all the best.
You were part of an academy side that was part of a generation of players that won grand finals, won championships every season, and then that group came together. How important is it to have that winning culture and know that the end of the season finishes with success, to when they become first team players, that's their expectation? Yeah,
it's huge. Winning's a habit, and a bit like tomorrow night for the first team. You know, we've got to start creating some good habits. That's why if we can top the qualifiers tomorrow night, yeah, it's nothing to shout from the rooftops about, but it's about time we started being number one again, and we've got to try and get there as quickly as we can, but in the right way of doing it as well. And it's took a while for our academy to be able to do that again. But, you know, it's easy getting there once, but can we back up next year? Can we get to a grand final next year? Can we do it the year after? Can we consistently do it? And when we get to that stage, we'll consistently produce real quality players who value winning, who value winning grand finals, who value being on those big occasions, and that's what we've got to get back to.